Welcome back to Chasing Narrative with AJ. And I'm going to talk about something that's been bothering me, like to the point I really want to go off. I've been seeing a lot of videos on social media about soldiers that are filing for conscientious objection. They don't want to go to the Middle East. They don't want to help Israel go against Iran. I got it. You might not believe with what's going on, but you signed that contract stating I will do X amount of years of military service, and part of that military service is you might have to go against your beliefs. And I feel like anybody that has put in for a conscientious objection, they should be charged with treason. And I'm dead ass serious. They should be charged with treason because, yeah, you might not agree with what's going on. Hell, when I went to Iraq, I didn't agree with what was going on, especially my second deployment. My first deployment, I didn't know what was going on. I knew that, hey, 9/11 happened. They said that they had weapons of mass destruction. I knew what I was going over there to fight for. The second time, I kind of was aware that they never found weapons of mass destruction, but I can't say, hey, I don't want to go. And with you doing that, you're leaving your battle buddies out to dry. That's why I say you should be charged with fucking treason. With treason. Like, there's no way just because you don't believe in something that you're just going to be like, oh, I don't want to go. And I'm going to file this paperwork. Some people saying that it's not true. I don't know. But if it is true, if I was one of y'all battle buddies, I would be highly upset. Like, I'm not saying I would want to fight one of you guys, but I would be highly upset. I would definitely speak my mind. I'd be like, damn, dude, like, I don't agree with it either, but you're just going to leave me out to dry? You know, and trust me, for those people that filed, that stuff is not going to get approved. You think Trump going to let you guys out of what's going on in the Middle East? Hell no. You got people failing drug tests on purpose. You think just because they failed a drug test that they're not going to go downrange? That's another video for a different day. But I'm going to give you guys 3 videos that talks about the conscientious objection and what people are saying you should do and what people say you shouldn't do. Let's get to it.
That they don't believe in. It's being reported that some soldiers are opting out of this war and refusing to deploy to Iran. Soldiers are filing conscientious objections. This is an objection to participate in war in any form. Every soldier has the right to object, and this can be based on religious, ethical, or moral beliefs. It's being said that a lot of soldiers filed their objection after it was found out that it was an American missile that struck an Iranian school, unaliving 150 children. Some soldiers cited they didn't believe that Iran was an imminent threat to the United States when this war was started. Others also cited that they did not want to fight a war for another country. Once a soldier files a conscientious objection, before the investigation even starts, their command is notified and any deployments or assignments must be halted. Now, there is a possibility.
Nah, I'm going to tell you guys something. When I joined in 2004, up until the day I retired in 2024, I didn't even know this was even a thing. I didn't even know. I didn't know that you could actually file one of these and try to get out of going over to a deployment. I never knew. That is insane. And even if I had the chance to do it back then, which according to this, I did, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't have done it because I owe it to my battle buddies to be there, to the person to my left and to my right. I owe that person my loyalty, and I owe my country my loyalty. That's why I joined. I joined not only to get out of a bad neighborhood and a bad situation, but I joined to fight for my country as well. Like, there was a lot that I didn't agree with. Hell, we fought for Israel. The people who deployed to Iraq, the people who deployed to Afghanistan, They fought for Israel. Israel's the one that said that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction, which we never found, by the way. The United States spent $2 billion to try to find weapons of mass destruction. They didn't find it, but that's another story for a different day. But there's times that you got to do stuff that you don't want to do. And part of you being in the military is you might have to do things you don't want to do. Plain and simple. Plain and simple.
That their conscientious objection could be rejected, and Donald Trump could pass a law where conscientious objections are not allowed during these times. But what would that say about our country if we would force people to fight for something that they don't believe in?
What would it say about our country if people are in the military and they are refusing to fight for something they don't believe in? What would they say about our country? You had thousands and thousands of military personnel that have fought in battles for decades, for centuries. And here, because you don't agree with what's going on in Iran, you want to just tap out. You want to just leave your battle buddies. You want to just be like, hey, I don't want to do this just because a situation is going on. Did you really think that you were going to join the military and that nothing was going to pop off during your time? During those 3 or 4 years that you signed your contract and you got like a $40,000, $50,000 bonus? Come on, man. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, people.
I keep hearing people say something that should make every veteran uncomfortable. Troops should just follow orders. Let me tell you something. That mindset is exactly why the military has conscientious objector protections in the first place. Service members are not robots. They are citizens in uniform who swore an oath of the Constitution of the United States. And yes, the Department of Defense has an actual policy that allows a service member to apply for conscientious objector status if they develop a sincere, moral, ethical, or religious objection to participating in war. Now, the chain of command might pressure you. They might tell you it's pointless. They might tell you to keep your mouth shut and deploy. But rights only exist if people are willing to use them. Because the oath was never about blind obedience. It was always about defending the Constitution. Semper Fi.
It was always about defending this country. And granted, I'm one of those people, I don't think we should be in the Middle East helping out Israel. I despise President Trump for helping out Israel and having our service members over there, 50,000 plus right now in the Middle East. I don't agree with it. But I damn sure don't agree with people tapping out because they don't believe in what's going on. That is some BS. You're doing your battle buddies so dirty, and you have to look at yourself in the mirror. And honestly, if I was one of those people who filed for a conscientious objection, I would look at myself as a coward. I would look at myself as betraying my country. I would look at myself betraying the service. And more importantly, I will look at myself betraying the people that are to my left and right of me. And that's what matters the most. Like, for you to file a conscientious objection, meaning that you don't care about the people that you serve with. And that's why I said each and every one of those mother effers should be charged with treason. I firmly believe that. I got a couple more videos for you guys.
Objector is an individual who refuses to perform military service or participate in war, and they are currently filing at a rate their own advocates have never seen before, and some are submitting applications with hours left before deployment to the Middle East, and reportedly U.S. troops are being told to prepare for the worst. The Center on Conscience and War, also known as the CCW, has recorded a 1,000% increase in new conscientious objector clients since the war against Iran began. And on the other hand, U.S. Marine reservists expressed confusion and frustration frustration after receiving a letter urging them to be prepared for potential deployment linked to Iran. The letter was sent by the Marine Forces Reserve commander. In the letter, the commander emphasized that forces were already, quote, engaged in operations connected to Iran, and that any mass mobilization, quote, could become a reality. Also in the letter, the commander warned Marines to check their gear, readiness, and personal affairs in case mobilization orders.
That is normal. And like I said before, it's different from when I deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. I had orders. I knew months in advance that I was going. Now they give you maybe 24 hours. Hey, you get on that bird. This is where you're going. You're going to Poland. You're going to the Middle East. You're going to Iran. You're going to Turkey. Wherever you're going. So this is nothing new at all. Nothing new what he just said. Last video.
Hey, you don't have to die for Israel. You do not need to die for a bunch of fucking... You don't need to do it. You could...
I agree. You don't need to die for Israel. But at the same time, if you are required by duty to go to the Middle East and fight for this country, you have to do it. Again, guys, I don't agree with anything that's going on in the Middle East. I believe right now we're the United States of Israel, but that does not mean that I could up and just tap out. I'm not going to go. Like that's a coward. That's a coward. That's betraying your country. That's betraying your
be a
service.
conscientious objector. I will put a number at the end of this video for a hotline that you can get a hold of. Do not go. If you don't know, they're starting to draft people. They're calling units in to go on a ground invasion of Iran. You do not have...
They're not drafting people. These people are still in. They're just pretty much letting them know you're next on the chopper block to go to the Middle East. There's no draft going on. I don't know where she gets that from.
To go. Don't die for motherfuckers who don't give any fucks about you, baby. You don't need to do this. There are other opportunities. There are other things. I can help you personally for free figure out how to get out of the United States, what kind of work you can do, what kind of visa citizenship you can do. You do not
Get out of the United States. So are you telling these troops to go AWOL? They gotta leave their families behind. They risk going to prison of getting caught overseas, and they decide to defect, and they decide to betray the people that are fighting next to them. Make it make sense, please.
need to die in this pointless war.
That's the one thing I do agree with her about. It is pointless. You don't know what you're fighting for at all. You don't know. And honestly, you're just there to help Israel when Israel in return said, hey, we're not sending any ground troops. So we're not sending any ground troops at all. So I do agree with her about that. It is pointless.
Just trying to get opportunity. I can help you figure out opportunity. Don't do this. Do not do this. Your life is worth so much more. Babe, let me help you.
Your life is worth so much more. But when you sign that contract, you're pretty much giving your life to your country. And I'm going to leave it off by saying this. There were times before I deployed that I did not want to go at all. Every single time. Even when I went home on R&R leave, the thought of going back upset me. But I had to do it. And at the end of the day, if I didn't do it, I will look at myself as a coward, because not only am I betraying myself and what I signed up for, but I'm betraying the people that I fought next to. So for those that are thinking about filing a conscientious objection, think about those people that you served with. Think about those people you've been to the field with. Think about those people you've done PT with. Think about those people that you bonded with over the years. Is it really worth it just because you don't agree with what's going on? Again, there's many service members that didn't agree what was going on, but they still had to fight. They still had to serve their country. And at this point in time, I feel bad for you guys, because I'm on your side. I don't agree with it. I don't know what you guys are fighting for. But at the same time, you can't just tap out. That's not the way it works. That's not the way it works, people. That's not the way it works. So, I appreciate you guys like always. Salute. Peace.